You guys mentioned Wyatt Teller a few times. He is potentially out for up to a month with a grade 2 MCL sprain. DeWand, Jed Wills also battling with their own injuries. Jack Conklin yet to play this year. So I'm going to read you the names of a few free agent guards and tackles. And guys, you tell me if any of these guys are worth taking a flyer on if you're Andrew Berry and the Browns to help boost this offensive line. We'll start with the guards in the absence of Wyatt Teller. Zach Zinter will get the start, but some potential added depth. According to Spotrac, these are the 6 best available guards on the free agent market. Are you ready?
We are ready.
Mark Glowinski, last played for the New York Giants.
I'll take him.
Phil Haynes, last played for the Seattle Seahawks.
I'll take him.
I'm going to pronounce his name wrong. Halaputalvedi Vaitai of Detroit. Unfamiliar, I'll be honest.
I think Garrett will take him.
And we're going to check with the judges. Is Veta of it? Yes, we'll take him.
Matt Feller, last played on the Buccaneers.
Tyvis?
I'll take him.
There you go.
Trey Turner, last played for the Saints.
I'll take him.
He sounds rough. His name is Trey. He has to be a Mauldin.
Mikey, you could, no joke, be making these names up, and I would say I'll take him.
Yeah.
What's funny, Dustin, you're new here. I have done games where I made up college basketball players and pretended they were real, and Bull had no idea. These are real names. I swear these are real names here. But we have done that exercise before. As far as tackles, we've talked about this list before. David Bakhtiari, DJ Humphries, Charles Leno, Dwayne Brown, Donovan Smith, who started on the Chiefs last year in the Super Bowl, and Cameron Fleming, all available offensive linemen. Gee, if you're Andrew Berry, are you working the phones today trying to bring 1, 2, 3, 4 guys in? And if they don't bring in anybody, if the answer is 0, they're going with their guys. Is that excusable to you, or is that just complete?
No, that's malpractice. And that's malpractice, and that's being egocentric. Like it's time out for, we know that, people and general manager would like to play their guys that they drafted. It hasn't worked. James Hudson has not worked. You can't keep trotting them out there. And you need reinforcements, man. The guys that they're looking for, and I'm gonna give them some sort of a little bit of grace here. Like, all these guys had surgery, you know what I'm saying? And some people come back in surgery at their own time. But I want people to understand, offensive line play now is not like it was back then. It wasn't like you get an offensive lineman and you just say all the offensive linemen are average, but you got your guys like Munoz or your guys, that are Hall of Famers. And the rest of them are just average and serviceable, so it don't matter who you put up there. Now, when you got these pass rushers that are you just look at the pass rushers since we've gotten back. You had Josh Allen, you had Micah Parsons, you got Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, Dexter Lawrence. Now you're going to get Max Crosby in this upcoming game. These guys are prime time elite athletes. So this is in a throwaway position. These guys can literally wreck your whole game plan, and you won't be able to move the football. So they got to figure out something very quickly. And they're going to have to figure out something as well at tight end. One thing that I think is hurting them a little bit too, McNuggets, is David Njoku was a very good blocker. Some of the things that they were doing was check releasing with David Njoku.
I don't know about very good. Sorry, I didn't mean to kill you there, but he's an okay blocker. Sorry about that.
He's a good blocker. Like he's
serviceable.
He's a good blocker for a tight end. And what they were doing is using him as somebody that could help some of the tackles. Now, at this point, you don't have that release valve. You don't have your running game. So you're going to have to figure out whether it's 9 linemen or extra linemen in the game. You have to figure something out. But they should be bringing all these guys in trials right now. They should be giving physicals out like Oprah give cars out. You get a physical, you get a physical, you get a trade. They should be out there working these dudes out today.
Dustin, do you agree?
Yeah, I would be working anybody out. I mean, I think you could run an ad in the paper to steal a line from one of my old coaches. Like, you got to find some way. It may be difficult to get guys in here like midweek and expect them to go out there and be able to contribute and really help you on Sunday, like this Sunday. But man, you've got to. They're so banged up, guys. I mean, even like DeJuan Jones, who struggled in that game, like he's hurt. Like he's battling that knee. So I don't have a lot of issues, or I don't have a lot of answers to these issues. The Browns guys, I mean, this is the worst offense in football right now. Do you know that?
They have the worst EPA per play in the NFL heading into last night, and there's no way that Washington or Cincinnati or Buffalo and Jacksonville was already ahead of them. So, yeah, it's probably still 32nd.
The Browns are averaging 3.8 yards per play. That's the second worst mark in the NFL and the franchise's third worst through the first 3 games of a season since 99.
It's been some bad football since 99 too.
Hey, McNuggets.
How about this? The team's third down conversion rate, 18%. You know how bad that is? It's the franchise's worst since 1999.
It's like
how you gonna win?
Ty,
how you gonna win games?
You know what it is though? This is the problem. It's because the for some odd reason, I don't know whose call this was, but they came in and they tried to change the identity of what the Cleveland Browns are. And I understand that you got to do different things to get more success. But when you think about the Browns, you always thought about a team that played good defense and that ran the football first. And once they tried to go into this big pass and attack thing, it's not successful because that's not what they're used to. Nobody's used to really doing that all the time. They're used to running the ball, running play action, which is for alignment. It's pretty similar blocking in that scheme of things. Now you're asking these guys to just be straight pass pro guys. And yeah, they had some success with Joe Flacco, but at the end of the day, run the ball, man. Like, it's just what it is.
I gotta give you an analogy, and y'all should be able to vibe with it. When you get older, you're in college, and you start, there's certain cultures and different cults that I call you get into, right? And there's a major difference between going to a nightclub and going to a bar. Mm-hmm. And when you go to a nightclub, you get a lot of stuff off. It's a little more aggressive. It's a little more, it's a little more competition in there. It's a little more showy. You can't use that same game you going to talking to these young ladies in a bar, in a setting where it's a club as a bar. When you go to a bar, it's completely different. You better be up early. You got to do some day drinking. You got to be up hanging out, getting beers. You can't be coming in predator gear. You can't have sunglasses on. The whole gear is different. And you got to have a group of dudes with you. You can't be a solo fish in a bar trying to hunt. You're out of here. It's 2 different levels to it. And it's the same way when you're trying to throw the ball and you're trying to run the ball. If you're trying to throw the ball, you got to have guys that actually pass block, receivers that can actually get downfield. And your coach has to know how to dial up those type of plays to get guys open on free yard. We call them free yards. I was watching the all 22, and I was just alarmed at the rudimentary routes. There was no route combinations. If Dustin and Tyvis was out there, they're jumping that. Why would Dustin and Tyvis play back and off coverage when you got Jerry Jeudy and Amari Cooper? Why? I'm sitting on everything, and they're running 4-yard button hooks. Guys are running. They're still running stick routes. I didn't see so many stick routes I'm like, why are you running that? Like, there's nobody open. I've always said, if you want to pass the ball, McNuggets, why not just copy and paste? Just watch the Chiefs 1 week and say, give me week 12 of the Chiefs from 2022, and just take one of their best plays and say, let's run it. Because them trying to create it is not there. All the routes are under 10 yards. I don't know why. I'm just counting them. I don't know.
I was looking at that. I was looking at that completion thing. You know, that chart,
the pass chart.
It's all of it. Like, it's all quick game routes, right?
Oh,
they tried to throw the ball deeper against the Giants than they had in the first 2 games. They didn't have a ton of success with it. Deshaun was 2 of 10 on passes over 10 yards, but they at least tried.
This is gonna be a long season. It's gonna be a long season.
You were at the Buffalo game last night. I thought the way Buffalo got some guys open in the quick passing game was really creative. And
How about the opening drive and really the first half for Buffalo? Like
masterclass.
They did such a good job getting the ball like on the perimeter, out leveraging the defense, like taking advantage of what the defense was doing. They were over pursuing the run, and of course Buffalo was able to make those plays on the outside. Like James Cook had a couple of those swing passes that just end up like big plays. Yeah. So. I don't know. They scheme well. Buffalo looks like the best team in football right now. So that's probably not a fair comparison to compare or talk about them.
If you look at their weapons compared to the Browns' weapons, it looks like they're.
Oh yeah, I mean they don't have the best weapons. Are you kidding me?
The Browns have better weapons on paper. You would take the Browns receiving core, but when you see the way Buffalo schemes guys open, creates space for their playmakers, as opposed to what we've watched in Cleveland for the first 3 weeks of the season, it looks like two different sports. It looks like the Browns are playing blackjack, and if you go over 21, you lose. And they're just like, nope, all right, we're good. We're good at 15. We're good at 17. We're good at 18. We can't even attempt to get into that 20-point plateau. All other teams are out here scoring 47 points with relative ease. That's the same Jaguars defense that held the Browns to 1 touchdown last week or 2 weeks ago now. Think about that.
I thought about that the whole game last night. I'm thinking to myself, like, man, how did this team, like the Browns beat them, obviously, but man, I don't know. And then I watched the Cowboys game against the Ravens, and I know they came back and made it close, but it's like, dude, they look like a different team than played us.
And Dustin, even this is what to Tyvis, what you were saying. It's like the Ravens was 0-2. And you know what they said? You know what? Screw it. We're going to run the ball 40 plus times. We're going to throw it 15. And they got Lamar Jackson. They got some guy like Zay Flowers is a nice young player. He can do some things out. But they said, you know what? We got Derrick Henry. And we're just going to run the ball 40 times because the Cowboys can't stop anything up the middle. They can't stop any plays. And they came down there and established what they do. The Steelers, look, they don't matter who they got at quarterback. They're going to play defense. They're going to run what the Steelers run. And the Cleveland Browns right now are a man without a country. They can't pass block it up good enough or got the receivers to throw it downfield, but they've moved so far left in the philosophy of running the football that they can't even do that now. So now you end up with this medium playbook where it's like sit down routes with Jordan Akins and slants that corners is looking at you like, stop it. I know you're running this. I seen them turn around and look at somebody and bracket coverage like, yeah, go ahead, throw that. Yeah, we all over that, dog. I want to sell t-shirts, people. I want to drink the Kool-Aid. I do. You think I don't? But I can't sit up here and tell you I don't see where this gets better. I don't. I just don't see how. Maybe they can show me against Vegas, but I'm telling you guys.
I'm gonna be honest with you. They need to scrap it, bro. Like, it's just scrap it. It's not go back to the run and the play action. Like you was at least middle of the road offense every year when y'all did that. Like y'all trying too hard and it's not working. Like go back to what worked. It won you games. You was able to score. It's fine. I know he don't want to do that, but at the end of the day, it's gonna help him live because he gonna stand back there and he gonna get killed every time trying to do these dropbacks. So just run the ball and run play action and work off the boots. I tell you what, if I didn't got sacked, how many times he got sacked this year? Like 15, maybe?
I actually have the numbers right here. You ready for this, Tyvis?
Yeah.
Browns have been sacked 16 times this season on 12% of their dropbacks, and they've been pressured on 44.7% of dropbacks.
And that's just sacks. So we ain't even talk about him getting hit. If I didn't got hit, it's week 3 now. If I didn't got sacked 16 times and I didn't got hit more than that, yeah, I think come on, let's run this play action real quick. Let me see. Let me see if I can at least, make it to the end of the season. Because right now, you tread lightly, brother.